So the dev team just pushed a new update live to Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, but what does it include? We've got a brand new blog post from the dev team about that one. We'll go over it. Plus, we've got sales figures. We've got to talk about this. Also, yes, some context. How did it do versus previous Warhammer games? This is pretty incredible. You guys got to know about this one. Plus, yes, we're going to be talking about some problems that still persist with this game, particularly when it comes to weapons. We're going to talk about the need for this mode. First and foremost, yes, we're getting new PvE stuff and PvP stuff, but players really want this first. And we've got your top comments to go over as well. And some players want to see this nerfed, so we'll dive into it. But first, check it out. Yes, 2 million Space Marines have joined the fight to protect the Imperium in Space Marine 2. We're so grateful. So yeah, that is a huge accomplishment. And we have this article here, Space Marine 2 reaches 2 million players, how its sales compare to other Warhammer games. So yeah, I say we dive straight into this right now. So it goes on to say this: the first Space Marine shipped 1.2 million copies globally in the first 3 weeks of its September 2011 launch, according to publisher THQ. Its lifetime sales remain undisclosed. Wow, just to hear THQ again, I'm like, it's been a long time hearing about THQ. But anyway, yeah, it goes to show just how quickly this game has sold and how immensely popular it has been right out the gates. And then it says, it is hard to compare Saber's new project to other games based on the Warhammer IP due to lack of officially reported data. We know that Total War Warhammer sold over 500,000 copies in its first few days and was the fastest selling Total War title at the time. Now, Sega only mentioned that the sequel had solid performance during its debut quarter, but its exact commercial performance, like that of the threequel, is unclear. Now, according to THQ, Warhammer 40K Dawn of War sold 4 million copies as of December 31st, 2008. When announcing its acquisition of THQ Canada in January 2013, Sega revealed that the entire Dawn of War series has sold over 7 million copies globally. And I think that this game alone will be able to actually reach that, which is telling you something incredible. Then it says, speaking of other Warhammer games, Alcat's RPG Rogue Trader reached 500,000 copies sold in its first month, and Warhammer End Time Vermintide sold 300k units in its first months and reached the 2 million mark in 2 years. It took 2 years for that game to reach that, and this game did it practically in a fraction of the time, which is just incredible. Now, also, you know, we have Tim Willits of Saber Interactive. He posted this right here. He says, with crossplay on for consoles, this number was way higher. And he's talking about the launch number. This is the, of course, highest concurrent player peak ever for a Warhammer 40k game. So yeah, through and through, I think this has been immensely successful, and it's great to see such an old school feeling game hit this big. It's wonderful. And maybe we'll see more of this stuff in the future. But you know what? Let's get on to that brand new update. It was about 2.6 gigabytes big, and we do have a blog post from the dev team here. So check it out right here. It goes on to say the following. Space Marine 2 hotfix 2.1. So what's going on here? A small hotfix has been pushed on PC and consoles. Here's the patch notes. For crashes and bug fixes, they did fix some rare possible crashes when starting up the game. Fixed a rare possible crash that occurred during the first cutscene. They also addressed several other rare crashes and rare bugs that did soft locks in the story mode. Now for PC only, optimized CPU behavior on higher end PCs. And on top of that, first quick fix, we're preparing a bigger patch for later in September. Now this patch will bring some other things, including ultra-wide support, private PvE lobbies, which I think a lot of you guys will be excited about, sparring arena in the battle barge. I'm really curious about that one as well. And then they post this badass image, of course. But yeah, some exciting stuff to look forward to as we get further into September. And I think the experience with the game is just going to improve as we go. Now, there's some parts of the game that still are lackluster, at least according to players. And this is one of them. Check it out. It says the heavy bolt rifle experience. And you can see here, this guy has done an entire examination of how many headshots it takes to take down some of these enemies. Of course, when it comes to some of the mobs, it feels pretty damn good. You could take them out. But some of these elites right here, it just takes absolutely forever, even with headshots and body shots combined, to really knock them down. And it's a big issue that is kind of plaguing this game currently, at least according to players. Let me know if you feel the same way, or if you're feeling that, hey, it is fine, this is over exaggerated. I think in some ways they want you to work together. This is my guess, just hear me out. I think they want you to stick together as a team and hit one enemy simultaneously and learn that type of mechanic, but I feel like that's not possible a lot of the time. And it was noted, by the way, that yes, this is maxed out relic heavy bolt rifle, by the way, on a level 25 tactical against a basic Chaos Marine on the second highest difficulty. This is unfortunately as good as it gets. It feels great mowing down Minoris enemies, but trying to kill Majoris enemies with this thing is comically bad. So a lot of people are in agreement about this. They're talking about how this needs to be updated. Either the weapons themselves need to be buffed, or some of these enemies need some fine tuning. I hate to say the word nerf, but then again, you got to be careful about nerf. You don't want to make the game too easy. That is really where getting into some trouble. Looking at you, Helldivers, too. Now, we do know, again, that we are getting that brand new content for PvE, PvP. People are excited about that, but they're like, hold up now. You know what? We want something else first. You should change your priority list around, Saber. So check it out right here. It says, Horde mode should be priority number 1. Slated for 2025. Honestly needed to be in the game on release. I probably only played for about 6 or 7 hours, and doing the same operation for months sounds pretty awful. Edit clarifying, I think Horde mode should be the first priority for content. What is here is a great start though, and I do think it would be cool if they could update the operations modes with brand new enemies. We are going to be getting a new enemy type, so that's pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be included, of course, in all operations mode. And it's definitely a tough one for Saber, because I know already they probably have the new PvE map and PvP map in the pipeline being developed as we speak, and they just cannot just be like, oh, we're just going to switch it around. They've also laid out the roadmap and have promised certain things, and they can't backpedal on that as well. So it would be tough for them to be like, oh, here's the Horde mode, you know? They could probably get something out quicker if they use the existing operations maps to produce a Horde mode. Maybe that could be an option. I don't know if this is going to be like an entirely new map type experience with the Horde mode, or they're going to use existing stuff. We'll have to wait and see. But I imagine they might want to do fresh new areas. Now, also, we have this right here. Some people have been saying that the Assault class is just piss poor, but someone noted this right here. I said, saw the Ruthless Assault post, and people were saying you couldn't do that against the Thousand Suns. Here's a massive wave with no health damage taken, and check it out. And I believe he's in like the higher tiers of the Assault class, and he's showcasing what you can actually pull off and do here. Look at this. And you could do this 3 times over, recharging your ability very, very quickly, very rapidly. And yeah, he's actually pretty OP. I think he feels great. Higher difficulties, a different thing. And someone else also said, Assault is terrible, guys. And he showcases not PvE, but PvP, how useful the Assault class is actually in PvP, kicking some absolute ass here in just a moment. Check it out. 3, 2, 1, unleash. I freaking love it. He caught these guys off. He caught these guys off guard completely and just absolutely wrecked them. And it goes to show that, hey, if you come up with a good strategy and you know what you're doing with the class and you really learn it, you can dominate. It just takes a little bit of time. We're so close to release still. I think everyone still needs to take a little bit more time with the Assault class. With that being said, is there anything in particular with the Assault class that you feel needs changing or buffed? That's the biggest question. And when it comes to PvP, do you feel like it's good or bad? And what do you think of it now, currently? I'm absolutely loving PvP. It's definitely tough. You got to get on the right team that understands like team synergy and utilizing the entire kit, you know, of your class. That's extremely important. So getting on the right team for me is absolutely everything. Now, yes, we got to talk about the veteran difficulty experience. This is a perfect representation of it, and everyone was chiming in on, hey, how can this be addressed? Because walking around with practically no health is just not doing it for a lot of people. So it's the fact that there's no viable way to get your health back is insane. Why even have a health bar? And then we have this, the pain, especially in the last 2 missions. I really hope they buff armor a bit because it feels like it's made of paper. And I think the assessment is that you guys want more ways or improved ways to get health during combat. And you don't want to feel like a weakling. You are a Space Marine. And perhaps this sort of thing needs to be fine-tuned and adjusted. Or they need to maybe add better perks or buff some of the perks that offer up health regen. That's always an option as well. Furthermore, we have this one right here. Am I the only one who likes the operations difficulty? So this is a counter argument. I see a ton of posts complaining about the higher difficulties. To me, mastering the combat and reacting to different situations the AI throws at feels very rewarding. Does anyone else feel this way? The only thing I think needs a slight adjustment is the minor enemies ranged damage. Yes, that's another whole discussion as well. So that might be one of the biggest issues actually, is just the ranged enemies might need some adjusting, or dare I say it, a nerf. At least according to this post right here out on Steam. Nerf ranged mods, please. Seriously, what the F? Half HP chunking from the other side of the map with 100% accuracy? Not fun. And a lot of people agreed with this. And I do remember Diablo 4 had a similar problem with off-screen ranged enemies. They would just tag you and it would not be a lot of fun. They did eventually nerf those and the game became a lot more fun. So maybe that's one of the core issues that the game does face. Or some of you do like to stay on your toes, like to utilize that dodge and roll and be forced into that sort of tactic. So sound off, do you think this needs to be updated or not? All right, so you guys know what time it is. It's time to go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. Let's do this. All right, so we have this one. My biggest complaint so far is Heretic Astartes having 0 armor customization. So even if you change your tactical to Night Lord colors, he still has a Black Legion Pauldron, and it just looks wrong. A lot of you guys noticed this, and definitely, hopefully Saber can get to updating this in the future. We'll have to see. Furthermore, we have this one right here. 1 person per class in PvE is fine. Just don't let me join a lobby with the same class or them join me. So they're going to have to fine-tune the entire matchmaking system, make that far more enjoyable. That's a tough one for sure. But yeah, only time will tell. I'll wait for blog posts and see what they have to say about it. Furthermore, it says, for the Bulwark banner, they could fairly easily make the banner a flat color and symbol based on whichever chapter emblem you have, or otherwise, make it just a generic Imperium banner. Though a part of me does love the idea of running a Blood Raven Bulwark and being like, look at what I found. Hell yes, that would be awesome. And we have this one right here. I wish that there was a feature that allows you to play on your own. I love playing with my friends in PvE. However, it would be nice to select your bots. I think if they did what Marvel Avengers did, that would be so much fun. Not only could you select your bots, the bots would be your progressed characters if you played them before. I would love, click, read more, to build a squad that matches as well as having synergetic builds. I'm not saying you can level 3 at a time. The level progress should only go to whoever you are currently playing. It would just be nice to be helped out on your own maxed out character. Dude, you just like gave a great idea though. It would be really badass to be able to manage a squad, an AI squad, and actually their equipment and their level. That would be very, very cool. I gotta say, that's kind of like the old Rainbow Six type stuff, you know, that I really do like. But anyway, yeah, that would be neat to see for sure. But so far, really enjoying the game still to this day. There are some things that definitely need to be improved. It's not perfect, but what is here is a great base. I mean, an excellent base start. It's so much freaking fun. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the love and support on the videos. And I will keep you guys updated in the know about all things Space Marine 2. And I will see you all next time. Take care.